Both Pakistan's military chief Asim Munir and Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif are in the line of fire back home in Pakistan. They are being called as sellout and even traitors to the cause. From the founder of Pakistan, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, to the people of Pakistan, the country's prided itself for being strong defenders of Palestine and Jerusalem being a part of the Palestinian state. But Asim Munir and Shahbaz Sharif are being accused of selling off Palestinian interests to the White House for a few dollars more. To explain the ramifications of these developments, I am now joined by Tilak Deveshar, former Special Secretary at the Cabinet Secretariat and author of multiple books on Pakistan, one of the most respected voices on situation across the border. Sir, welcome. Your reading of Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir and Shahbaz Sharif being on board the Trump plan on the Palestinian cause and being called sellouts in Pakistan.
Gaurav, I think, first of all, thank you for having me on your show. There are two things. One is being on board, Shahbaz Sharif's statement of supporting a two-state proposal, and then President Trump saying that they were with us from the beginning. Now, this is the message that has gone to the people of Pakistan, is that these guys were conspiring to change Pakistan's position for God knows how long. That what else have they sold out the country for? To say that they've been with us from the beginning is the really bad thing. Supporting the two-state proposal is one thing, but to be there with the US from the beginning, I think this is going to hurt them a lot. And second, people's anger is justified because this is a change in Pakistan's position for the last 70 years, including the position that was laid down by the father of the nation, Muhammad Ali Jinnah.
Okay.
He had stated and he had laid down that you cannot accept, words to his effect is not a direct quote, that unless and until the Palestinians get justice and a Palestinian state with Jerusalem as the capital, you cannot have a Jewish state. So in effect, he said no two-state solution and till the Palestinians get justice. And Imran Khan said precisely the same thing when he was Prime Minister.
So Imran Khan is already in jail and he's been shifted from Adiala jail to some jail closer to Rawalpindi or Islamabad, where he will no longer be in touch even with his party workers or leaders. Those are the kind of reports that are coming from Pakistan. That's point one. Point two, even Imran Khan, when he was being brought on board this two-state solution, wanted Jerusalem to be a part of Palestine, and that's clearly not happening. So can PTI or Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf in Pakistan revolt, rebel, have some kind of an attack on the co-commander house kind of a situation once again, or their backs have already been broken, so they are not a threat anymore to Asim Munir and his ecosystem?
You see, in this case, it is not going to be the PTI alone. It is going to be all the religious parties. For them, Palestine is bread and butter. So whether it's a Fazl-ur-Rahman's JUI, the Jamaat-e-Islami, the Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan, which has been very effective in agitation, all of them are going to come out, and protest on this. So if they join forces with the PTI gets a boost. You're right that the PTI has been decimated, and with leaders like Ali Amin Gandapur who are in bed with the establishment. But this will give them a fillip. This will give them a cause which they were stumbling for. And Gaurav, let me also tell you, the Commonwealth Observers Group, which had observed the elections of February 24, had not published their report. For the first time in 70 years, over a year and a half later, they still had not published the report. The report was leaked by an online portal, and it's a devastating report on how the elections were rigged to keep Imran Khan's party out of power, how the results were changed. Now, I think because there was so much of noise, they have just issued the report, I think today or yesterday. Now, that is also going to give them a cause to say that the elections are rigged, this is an illegal government, this is a Form 47 government, all those other things. So I think you can have a whole host of issues which may come together. And if the opposition were to capitalize on it, then I think the Shahbaz Sharif government at least will be in serious trouble. And then, of course, you have, problems in POK, you have problems in.
Hafiz-e-Quran Asim Munir. So here is a man who prides himself on knowing the Holy Quran by heart, sees himself as this devout Muslim, but he's sacrificed the Palestinian cause, and many even in Pakistan are arguing it's been done for a few dollars more. So he's abandoned his brethren in Palestine, and as far as Kashmir is concerned, after Operation Sindoor, whether he likes it or not, at least he knows there is nothing they can do that won't decimate them even further.
Yes, but for the public, they have to sell some children, they have to sort of convince them. And it'll be very interesting. Ishaq Dar, the Deputy Prime Minister, has already distanced himself from this Trump plan. He says it is not our plan. It is their plan. He is distancing himself, I think, from the position that has been taken by Shahbaz Sharif and Asim Munir. Maybe he hopes that in case there is chaos and confusion, he will come across as the person who opposed the government's. Very interesting. And normally you won't expect Ishaq Dar to say something like that.
True.
That it is not our document. So, Asim Munir, I think, and his extension is also up in 2 months' time.
Correct.
He retires on 28th of November. And Nawaz Sharif is not keen to give him an extension. Can Nawaz Sharif use this development and the fact that our cause on Palestine and on Kashmir is being sold out, so this man is not fit to get an extension?
Oh,
so
that's such an interesting thought. That's such an interesting thought because, I was listening to some Pakistani commentators who said his extension, at least for the next 2 years or 3 years, is a done deal, and he's actually seeking an extension first till 2027 and then for a 5-year period beyond 2027. So that might just be a pipe dream for him if this if this news was to explode that he sold out the Palestinian cause, which indeed he does appear to have done for a few dollars more to get American money, whether it's for Baluchistan or to get military hardware from America.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nawaz Sharif is a very uncanny politician. He knows, and he knows what buttons to press and what to do. And he can become a hero. He can become a hero and say that he refuses an extension to Asim Munir should not be given, because if a person who can betray the Palestinian cause, which Muhammad Ali Jinnah had talked about, and betraying the cause of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and he can be able to make sure, and the army will back him up. So I think this is going to next 2 months. Gaurav, mark my words, it's going to be a very interesting time in Pakistan, both for what Shahbaz Sharif has said on Palestine, what President Trump has said, that they were with us from the beginning.
Yes.
How long
and
have
DG
they been
ISI also comes up either for promotion or extension in a couple of months. Who's also their NSA.
Yeah, he retires in October.
He's to retire in unless he's seeking to become chairman, Joint Chiefs of Staff. He's been wrangling, I'm told, to get that position or see if he gets an extension as DGISI because he's also NSA. So very interesting developments that are taking place in Pakistan, because there would be some who would want both Asim Munir and DGISI out so that they could come in and occupy these places, sir.
Absolutely. And the chairman, Joint Chiefs of Staff also retires in November. So there's another slot for 4-star, will be opening up at that time.
Unless all these generals within themselves, they promoted themselves despite Operation Sindoor losing so drastically, and yet they promoted themselves because within the army, they know the truth. Within the army, they know that this was one of the worst defeats for Pakistan and the worst defeat when it comes to the war on terror, the manner in which India hit 11 air bases and 6 radar stations and 9 terror camps, and Pakistan's Punjab province is no longer safe. And yet this man promoted himself to be Field Marshal. Yet, and sir, he's facing trouble in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. There were protests even today. Lives have been lost even today in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. There is trouble in Baluchistan and there is trouble in KPK. So how do you see these developments in Pakistan?
No, I think they're all coming together. You see, before that, there were protests, 60 days protest in Gilgit-Baltistan.
Oh,
The traders, they had blocked containers and things like that. You see, in POK, the issue is that they are not accepting the demands the fair or whatever, which have been put forward, at least to talk to the people and resolve the issue. So when they started leading a demonstration, these guys mobilized the Muslim League to stage a contrary demonstration. Even though permission had been given to the Awami Action Committee, they also gave permission to the Muslim League. There was a clash. Those Muslim League guys or people in cover of the Muslim League demonstration fired. Two people were killed among the Awami Action Committee. Now, on which they started this protest. I believe some people have died even today. Now, this is how protests escalate. Because when people have protested for such a long time and you're not talking to them, it's a very sensitive matter. And it's a very sensitive area. So both in GB and in AJK, things are looking not too good for the government. And they are doing what they normally do, is using danda. They have deployed about 1,000 cops from Punjab, sent them over there, and those kind of things, which will not work. You can't keep suppressing a population for very long. At the very least, there could be violence and there could be more casualties.
Sir, could this also lead to trouble with countries like Iran? Imagine Iran being a Shia country, backed Hamas, sinking the Shia-Sunni differences in this war against Israel. And a predominantly Sunni Muslim Pakistan abandons the Hamas for American money or weapons, or for Asim Munir to remain in power and Shahbaz Sharif. What signals does it send out to the wider Islamic world in that region?
No, certainly to Iran. Especially when President Trump says that they were in it from the beginning. That means they were conspiring with the US, and Iran will say, hey, I thought we were brotherly nations. How come you've gone and conspired against the Palestinians and Hamas, and the entire Middle East since the beginning? You were conspiring with them, and now you even want to send your force. So I think the Iranians are going to be looking very askance at Pakistan. The other, the Arab states, I'm not so sure, because if they are going ahead with the Abrahamic Accords, and they would want Pakistan also to be on board, and Pakistan will use their cover to sign on to the Abraham Accords. But again, that is going to be a huge problem in Pakistan. It's going to create a huge problem in Pakistan, because for 70 years, if you give one children that we will not recognize a Jewish state, and all of a sudden, without any consultation, without preparing the people, you suddenly switch sides, you are asking for trouble.
And what is your reading? Why would Asim Munir have done it? Because it's there's no point of saying why would Shahbaz Sharif do it. Shahbaz Sharif is seen as boot polish in Pakistan, somebody who lives only to please the army. So would he have had a role in this decision, or would it purely have been Asim Munir's decision?
No, it will have been purely Asim Munir's decision. And Shahbaz Sharif would be the facade or the face who would announce it. I think what's in it for Asim Munir, his extension right now is just blindsided by his extension. 2 years, 5 years, He thinks that this could play well with his constituency if he gets lots of assistance, money, as well as weapons from the US. And the US will make the deal sweet by giving them a lot of weapons and by giving them a lot of financial aid. And Munir will come back and say, look, this is what I've done for Pakistan. I've got money. We were going bankrupt. Now the US tap is open. We are getting weaponry. Our airfields are being repaired. Whatever aircraft we lost, the US is going to give us that. So this is a small price to pay. This is what he's going to try and sell. But he doesn't realize that this is a matter of faith. This is a matter of identity in Pakistan. I don't think so that he'll be able to sell this to the people of Pakistan so easily.